Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for attending our exclusive 2020 enhancement session today. My name is Jennifer Beasley with Nomad eCommerce. I'm excited to be here today, but before we jump into our session, I wanted to quickly state that if you have any questions during the presentation, please jot those down in the chat feature to your right, and we will email you directly after the presentation with those answers. So let's go ahead and meet our solution consultants today who will be presenting to you. We have two of Nomad's most experienced solution consultants on the call, Danny Hoff and Mike Kramer. You may recognize these individuals as they may have worked with you in the past. They both have specific enhancements that they've worked on for our clients and are here today to give a high-level overview of the customizations that they did for them and to give a mini demo of each feature. All of the enhancements that you see today can be replicated for you if so desired. So we'll go ahead and start with Danny today and her specific features. Danny?
Hi, Jen, thanks. One of the first things one of the most recent projects that I've been working on is for Spot Nails. Spot Nails is based out of up by Chicago. They are a power drill and fastener component distributor. The need that Spot Nails had was they needed to have a way to organize their product listings that would allow their customers to quickly identify certain components of the parts that they're selling. So if we look at the video here, what you will see as we navigate through to the page itself, what you're going to see initially when you come to this page is the tool itself is called NR83A. So what you see on the left-hand side is the schematic of this particular component. You see each of the different sections that contain each of the different parts that make up of that component. So one of the problems that Spot Nails had and got reported from their customers was ease of use in finding those products and being able to zoom in on that particular feature or section, I should say, that allows them to see where that particular item is. So you'll notice as the video scrolls through, that image of the schematic stays in place, allowing them again to easily go through the list of components that make up that particular item and see and do a hover over to make sure that they're looking at the exact location of that item to go through with their purchase. And at any point in time, if they do find it, they can do a quick add to cart and just by clicking the buy button over on the right-hand side. Or if they wanted to get into more detail, they can also click on the individual item itself, then take it directly to the product page. So the next item that we did is called the Price Spiders feature. This we did for another customer called Toter by Toter. What this feature does is allows them to display items on their site that they carry, but they don't necessarily sell online. So this type of feature would be mainly used by people who do have lower sale volume online. So if we look at this next video here, you'll see what we did for them. So basically what we did is we loaded all their products online. And as soon as we get to view this product page, you'll see the difference on how it's displayed. So when we get here, you will see that there is a buy button. When you take that buy button, what happens is that we go out and we will display all of the locations that this particular product can be purchased on. So you'll see Global, Walmart, Northern Tools, and Equipment. So for this particular caster cart, those are the three places that you can go to purchase this product. When you click on any of those items, it will redirect you directly to their website where you can purchase that item, add it to your cart, and check out. So it makes, like I said, it makes for an easy way for them to still market their products that they offer, but not necessarily sell them online. The next project that actually just recently went live is Azenic Health Solutions. So what we did for Azenic is we added some dynamic content to their homepage. So in this next little video that you are going to view, you'll see and get an idea of what we actually did for them. So one of the easiest way to view this and to kind of talk about it is you'll notice that each page, each time that we scroll down, there's an animation that happens. So you'll see as you hover over these images here that different information pops up highlighting, different aspects of it. And as you scroll down, you have, the text comes up, text comes down. It's just dynamic. It changes as you scroll. The other cool thing about this particular feature as well too is if you notice on the right-hand side, those little dots. So as you're scrolling by using your mouse or your keyboard, whatever, each of those is kind of its own individual little chunk of information. So you can click on those little buttons, or like I said, as you're scrolling through, those items will also, it changes as you go. The other cool little thing that we did for Azenic is in the About section, if you look, when we hover over the names or the pictures, you see quick little name and titles of those particular individuals. So it allows you to still get additional information about those people without having to click into to get more detail on them.
Great. Thanks, Danny. We appreciate you coming on today to highlight those enhancements. Moving on, we have Mike Kramer on the call today. He also has a few enhancements that he would like to call out as well. Mike?
Thanks, Jen. The first thing that I'd like to talk about is a feature that we did for one of our clients, BE Pressure. They are a Canadian company that also has retailers and distributors and wholesalers in the US. So they manufacture industrial equipment such as generators, heaters, and pressure washers. So with marketing those products out to wholesalers and distributors, they needed a way that they could sell through their network in both Canada and different regions of the United States. So if you look in the demo here, you'll see that when you go to their site, we created this map object that allows the customer to determine where they're located, and each one of those locations is tied to an individual instance of their site with its own region-based database that it's synced to. It has its own distinct customers in each region, but it's all an identical looking site. So no matter where somebody is, they are still seeing the same content, the same images, same descriptions, and everything like that. Also, another interesting aspect of this feature that we did is that if a customer maybe knows the name of the product that they want to look at, but they may not know, the specific item number or something, or they may not even know the website's URL, if they Google a particular model of generator or pressure washer or what have you, and it takes them to the map screen that we just saw, even if they are in Canada or one or the other American sites, when they click through to their region, that Google result gets carried through to where they are directed to the proper version of that item. So if they Google something, it doesn't change, it doesn't have a problem with like the search engine or anything like that. They still get to go where they want to go and are directed to the proper site. So it makes it very convenient for them, and it makes it so that a Canadian company has more of a experience with having multiple locations without having all the complications that a lot of times go through with currency and things like that. So we also have a couple of other features that we do for this feature is, as you'll see here with the click for parts, is where they sell not only whole goods, entire completed products such as this pressure washer, but they also sell all the support products, the parts that are required to maintain those products. So when someone goes to a product here that has parts in it that they offer, rather than just having related items or a list of parts or something like that, we modified the tabs that are at the bottom of the product page so that when you go to parts, you have a diagram that lists everything out and also has the corresponding list of all those items above it. So when someone's looking at a pressure washer and they need a pump or the engine or something like that, they can see a diagram that shows exactly what that is and then a link directly to that above it, and they can go directly to that product page and get that part. And while they're on the product page, depending on who's looking at the site, a lot of times it can be a wholesaler or a distributor who has a brick and mortar physical location, and they are working with a end user or an end customer that is going to be purchasing from the distributor, not through the website. And the benefit of having the website is that it has pictures and video and diagrams and literature and all the good things that distributors and wholesalers like as far as product information goes that they want to go, communicate to their customer. But it also has their discounted price. That's not going to be the retail price because they are not a retail customer of these items. So as you'll see here, what we did was we gave just a small, simple button that the distributor can click on the product page that can hide the price that they're paying for whatever unit that they're looking at, but they can still have a customer looking at this page in person at their store, their warehouse location, wherever they are, and we can hide that price for them and still maintain all of the information about that product so that the distributor or wholesaler or whoever can still sell the item in person to the end user without having to explain, markup and margin and all that good stuff. So small feature, but in the right set of circumstances, it's pretty convenient. So the next feature we have is from our client JR Merit Controls, and they do industrial control units for various equipment. And they have a lot of literature and documents that are shared amongst many different items in their catalog. And some of these might be safety brochures, OSHA compliance, SDS, things like that. And those documents can get updated relatively frequently, more so than maybe a basic brochure would be. So rather than having to update the same document on 20 or 30 different items, we created this feature where they have a shared source, where, as we'll see here, when you update one version of an item's document, if that document is shared amongst many items, it updates everything at the same time. So those who are familiar with NOPS and the Documents tab in NOPS, you're aware that usually you have to go into each individual product page and change the file in the Documents tab, which if it's one or two items is not that big a deal, but if it's 20 items and it's all the same document, that gets a little tedious and it's kind of an inconvenience at that point. So what we did here is we just created this link on their product page that you'll see when we go down here, and it has this spare parts, service bulletin, literature, and if these are shared among any of the items and you update that, you will update it across the board, and you'll notice that there's no documents here in the Documents tab. So really it's just a one and done solution for keeping all the products up to date. Next is Excelta, which does laboratory grade tooling like tweezers, pliers, cutters, those types of things. And they wanted an up-to-date, clean tech looking website with a banner heavy homepage. And so in order to kind of have a really slick, up-to-date look, we did two things on their site that we wanted to show you. The first is parallax scrolling, which, if you're not familiar, gives a sense of depth to the page's images as they scroll. So if you watch these big banner images that go across, you'll notice that they kind of change perspective, and they kind of scroll at a slightly different rate than the page, and it doesn't quite come across through on the screen share here, but if you go to the site, you can see it. It's pretty obvious how there's this this kind of almost three-dimensional feeling when you scroll through the pages, and it's not really any more content, but just how it's delivered just looks a little fancier, that animated style. And the second feature we did that is also something that just kind of makes the site look very current is, for some of their products, they need very detailed images of the tooling, what the tips of them, the blades, and how they function, for their customers to really have a good understanding of what they're buying, because these are precision instruments. And so we worked with them on implementing this 3D viewer that has extensive zoom capabilities and very, very smooth animation, so that the end user can see exactly what it is they're looking at, and if it's going to be a solution that works for them. We also did a couple of other tweaks to their multi-product page here. So we have another customer here that you'll see that we also did a different 360 viewer that is Portacool, and they produce large evaporative coolers for factories and warehouses and things like that. And they needed a 360 viewer that was a very easy implemented solution. So this does not have the focus on details and zoomability and stuff. This is more of a way for the customer to kind of get an overview of the size and shape of the product, how it's going to fit, where they're going to place it, just and see kind of a 360 view of what it is, and how it would fit into their space. So this is an implementation that's similar to the one we just saw from Excelta, but it's just a little bit simpler implementation of the same kind of idea. So the last thing I think we'll see here is a sister company to BE Pressure, the first company we looked at, called Braber. They also work in industrial and agricultural products and things that they use for farming and industry, and they have also a similar structure of selling their items out to distributors and wholesalers, and those B2B type clients typically have a larger order than a retail client would. They're going to be ordering things by the dozens, or even maybe by the hundreds, rather than individual items. So what we came up with for them was a bulk import order feature that, as you'll see here, you can click through on the site and you can go directly to the product quick add feature that is on all of our sites, but we highlighted it here on the homepage because this was something that their clients focus on. And we have a regular add to cart button, but then we also have this import order button, and we have a little question mark highlighter thing that tells the user how to use it. And it's essentially just creating a spreadsheet in Excel or another spreadsheet program, and having the items number on one column, the quantity that they want to order on the second column, and then saving that as a CSV and simply importing the order. So these types of B2B clients, they work in stock codes. You know, they don't really care what things look like or, you know, how fancy the website looks. They want to get these big orders in as efficiently as possible. So this allows them to put these things together ahead of time, and then when they're ready to place an order, they can just add this large order to their cart, everything gets added to their cart. If there's an issue with any of the items, as you'll see at the top, it will give them an alert and say this item is out of stock or it's not available or something like that. Everything that is available gets added to the cart, and they have all their pricing and everything and the pictures and stuff just as they would under normal circumstances adding it to a cart. So it allows them to put together these really large orders efficiently, and of course they can still add more items and check out as normal. So if they have these large spreadsheets that they put together over the course of like a week and then make a big order at the end of the week or something like that, this makes it a lot easier. I think that about does it for me and the features for my clients. Back to you, Jen.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate you coming on today too to highlight those enhancements. For our attendees, thank you for your presence. This does end the webinar. If any of the talked about enhancements sound interesting to you or you would like to add those to your current site, please let us know and we can discuss cost and set up a formal proposal to send out to you. Again, it was a pleasure setting up this session for you. Please contact me for any more information or for additional questions that you may have. Thank you.